We use this time as a time to help prepare our minds to take in the Lord's Supper. We sing songs of remembrance to help us remember and to bring our minds upon the cross of Christ. We also provide a short talk each week regarding a topic that deals with the Lord's Supper, and that's what we're doing now. And you know, a very compassionate Christ was on the cross. A very compassionate Christ was on the cross, and we can see his compassion through what he said in Luke the 23rd chapter and verse 24. Jesus said regarding those that were crucifying him, a short prayer. See, he was talking to the Father when he said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." In what sense did they know not what they were doing? What we're going to do this morning, I think I'm going to break this up into two parts and cover the second part on the next time I do the Lord's Supper. That time we will look and reflect upon and what we have learned this morning, and then add the additional part. Let's look at some things this morning that they did not know. Okay? And as we look upon this, let's realize that even though they did not know these things, that ignorance was not an excuse for them. Because there were several things that they did know, and that's what we're going to look at the next time. But some things that they did not know. They did not know that the Christ must die. If you go back and look in the books of Acts in chapter 3, verses 17 and 18, Peter said, "I know that you did it in ignorance, but those things which God foretold by the mouth of all of the prophets," if you remember last week when Harold presented the Lord's Supper talk, he talked about how it was prophesied for the Christ that would die on the cross, the Messiah that would die on the cross. But anyway, he said, "I know you did not know it in ignorance, but those things which God foretold by the mouth of all his prophets, that the Christ would suffer, he has thus fulfilled." See, the Jews thought that their Messiah would be somebody special, as we do today. We want our leaders to look like somebody special. Nothing has changed from the ideas of men over the years. See, these Jews, they thought that they would look at the appearance of Christ and be somebody special. But they thought he'd be somebody like a great earthly ruler. It made no sense to them that for him to die, yet that was exactly what the scriptures had prophesied. They did not know that killing Jesus actually fulfilled prophecy. In 1 Corinthians 2, verses 7 and 8, we speak the wisdom of God in a mystery, the hidden wisdom which God ordained before the ages for our glory, which none of the rulers of this age knew. For had they known, they would not have crucified the Lord of glory. And we see that by crucifying Jesus, they actually unknowingly fulfilled scriptures. They did not know that Jesus was the Christ, the Son of God. Matthew 16, verses 13 through 17. When Jesus asked who people thought he was, his disciples said, "Some say John the Baptist, some Elijah, and others Jeremiah, or one of the prophets." He said to them, "But who do you say that I am?" And Simon Peter answered and said, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." So the people did not knowingly kill the Christ. They may have thought Jesus was a great religious teacher, but unknowingly they crucified their Messiah for whom they had waited for generations. Not only was he the Christ, he was the Son of God. So we've looked at this morning some things that they did not know, those that crucified the Lord. But there were a lot of things they did know. We're going to look at that the next time that I present the Lord's Supper talk. And like I say, we will bring in remembrance the things that we've learned this morning, that we've looked at this morning as we look at those things. But we want to keep this in mind. God does not accept ignorance when it comes to his word and knowing what's going on. He does not accept that. His word is given to us. Even this day, we should know every reason why we are partaking the Lord's Supper, how often we are to do it, and what our focus should be, just by what Jesus has said. As often as you do this, the Lord's Supper, do this in what? Remembrance of me. Do this in remembrance of me. Let's remember Jesus this morning. Let's remember Jesus and everything he's done for us. We know what Jesus has done for us. Let's give him the memory that he deserves and the honor that he deserves as we partake this morning. You'll take out your